Hello there and welcome back to Szpakowo. So it's August and this month I think mainly we're going to be focusing on our grass field, so baling up the grass and wrapping it, putting it to the side of the field and then preparing the field for the next chop in a couple of months. We can also collect the straw off of the oat field that we harvested last month, so that should keep us busy for the beginning of the month at least, and then maybe we can take care of a contract in the later half of the month. Before we get started on our own fields, let's take a look at contracts. I'm going to see if anything has come in overnight. There's a very small green beans harvesting contract there, but we can't do that. So no other contracts have arrived just yet. Take a look at our active contracts, and I was wondering why our money was going down after last month, and then I realized after I stopped recording that we hadn't collected the contracts. So let's collect the contracts we've already completed, and that makes our balance kind of semi-healthy again. Quick check of our stock. So our honey is going up a little bit, got 165 litres now. That's nice. So I think it won't be too long before we have the 1,000 litres we need for the VIP order. And then our bread, we're getting up there, got 8,300 litres. I will just check our rice field quickly. I don't think it needs flooding this month, but I want to check it before I blindly skip over it. Yeah, it doesn't need flooding, so we are all good there. So we'll jump in our tractor and let's grab our baler, which is facing in a very difficult direction. I'm going to have to pull out the windrower so we can get to it. So I'll do that and we'll start baling. We'll rejoin you in a little while. Okay, so we are almost done collecting the grass into bales. I think we should get one more bale. Yeah, we'll get one more bale out of this field. And there's just this tiny little bit left to collect for the next chop. How many did we get? 33 this time. Interesting. So we got 2 more than last time. That could be because we went around the edge a little more. I don't know. We're getting somewhere between 31, 33. So if we get 32 next time, that'll be 96 bales in total, so that'll be another decent haul when it comes to selling them all early next year. So we'll disconnect from the baler, and next up is wrapping the bales. Okay, before we start wrapping, let's take a look at our field data for this grass field. Something I want to check is the precision farming and the nitrogen. Yeah, the nitrogen is bad in the field. I thought it would be. The only reason I wanted to check is because the lime on the field we only did on growth stage 3 of 4, so I just wanted to check that it was taken, because when the grass is on growth stage 3 of 4 it shows ready to harvest, and I wasn't sure if you had to apply the fertilizer and lime before that, but you don't, so that's good. Anyways, we will continue with the wrapping. I'm actually wondering if I should first turn the existing bales on their end. I probably should, because if we stack more bales in front of them we're not going to be able to get to them properly. Yeah, I probably should do that. So I'm going to go around the field and turn the existing wrapped bales onto their end, just so that I can stack the newly wrapped bales in front of them, and then when it comes to loading them onto the trailer at sell time it will be easier. So I will continue with that, and I will rejoin you in a little while once the turning and wrapping is complete. I'll see you then. Okay, so we are almost done wrapping the bales, and I don't think I'm going to turn these bales on their end this month because I've just seen enough bales for the month. I don't want to do any more bale work for the foreseeable future. While I was wrapping the bales, did you notice something? See some of those bales over there in the distance? They are wrapped in black bale wrap. I have no idea how that happened. I haven't had any black bale wrap since the initial set of bale wrap I got with the bale wrapper. So I have no idea how those ones came out in black bale wrap. It wasn't even a new roll when I looked. So I feel like it's a little bit like how the net wrap turned into a different net wrap kind of halfway through baling a couple of chops ago. Let's put it down to one of Farming Simulator's many delightful quirks, as we like to call them. Okay, that's the bale wrapping complete for this chop. And oh, you know what I just noticed? If you raise the bale wrapper when it's wrapping, it drops the bales on their end. I wondered why it did it to that other bale while I was going around. No way. So I will try and remember to bear that in mind for the future. That's super cool. That would save us a little bit of time turning the bales on their end. I will definitely try to remember. Can't promise because, as we discussed before, I do have a habit of forgetting things. But I will do my best. Okay, so next up, let's throw some lime down on this grass field, and then let's go over it with the sprayer for fertilizer. We'll get hooked up to our spreader here. And I'm wondering if there is a way to get a super even spread with lime, like there is with the pulse width modulation on the fertilizer sprayer. If we go into our spreaders, yeah, because there's no options available on this. Doesn't look like there is a way to spread lime more evenly, unfortunately. Never mind. We will have to deal with what we have. Let's make sure we've got our width set to what it should be, and that we've got our application rate set to auto. And then we'll quickly do a pass over the field with the spreader, and then with the sprayer for fertilizer. So I'll get this done and I'll see you again in a bit. Okay, so that is the spraying and fertilizing done. So our field is in premium condition for the next chop. Now let's get back and park our sprayer away, and then we'll see if we have any decent harvesting contracts that we can take care of. I wonder if there's any sorghum contracts that we can do so that we can swipe the surplus sorghum for our grain mill. We will take a look and see. We'll drop our sprayer in the corner there, switch off our tractor, and let's jump into the menus. So what do we have? There are some harvesting contracts. Green beans, wheat. We've got a nice wheat contract there. That will be good for the surplus wheat. Green beans, that's a tiny one. Red beet. And then we have a couple of liming contracts, but they're fairly small. I think we're going to take this wheat contract because that's a massive field, so it will take quite a while. But we should get 6,000 or 7,000 litres. Actually, I know better than to say how much we'll get. We should get some wheat to throw into our grain mill. Okay, so we're going to take this, and just want to see, we've got a couple of bale wrapping contracts there as well, but I am not going to entertain those because we have some wheat to harvest. Header's not in the best condition, or not in the best position, I should say. Good job we're not taking it anywhere. I'm just going to connect the harvester to it here and drive over to the field with the header connected. It's just there, so it's very close to us, which is ideal. And I think we're going to end up driving on our neighbour's field a little bit. Well, no, we'll squeeze down here, down the side of it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's get some of this wheat harvested, and I will come back to you once we've made some progress. See you soon. So, one lap of the headland has yielded 12,468 litres, so that's quite the haul. And when you think that generally the AI fields aren't that well taken care of, that's only going to be like an average of 70 to 80% yield of what this field can actually yield when it has been taken care of properly. So once we end up buying these fields, we're going to be getting 20% more, 20 to 30% more than that, maybe even up to 40% more if we can get the yield up to 120, 130%. So I'm really looking forward to expanding and getting these fields in a good state, planting our own crops in them, and seeing just how much we end up yielding. Obviously it's going to be ideal if we had a better harvester with a wider header on it. Hopefully that's something we're going to be able to afford when we do come around to upgrading our fields. Just thinking when that might be. I think I'm going to aim for the cow pasture, complete this level of VIP order, and that will give us a nice 135,000 euro payout. So once we have that, maybe then we can aim for our first large field. I think that's going to be the likely path forward, because at the end of this year I think we're going to be able to afford the cow pasture, hopefully. And if we had to buy a smaller one, am I okay with that? Yeah, I think so. So by the middle of next year we'll be able to buy the cows. And I say the middle of next year because we'll obviously need some kind of reserve of hay, silage, and is it hay, silage and straw, isn't it? Actually, that's a really good use for the straw that's on our other field. We can keep it for the cows because it's not really worth that much. It's worth about 400 per bale, I think. Is that right? 400 per bale? I don't remember. I think that's about right. So yeah, maybe we'll keep that for the cows, and then come next May when we build the cow pasture, the first chop we do next year, that first chop we do, we can split it half for, we can wrap half for silage, we can ted half for hay, and then we can start making our TMR. So I think that is going to be the plan. Anyways, I will continue on with this. When we get to the end of the headland here, I'll probably take this load over to Szpakowo because we're close enough to the top of the field that we may as well do that. And then we shall continue. So I will resume the time lapse and I'll join you again in a bit. so we are approaching our second trailer load of grain. Once again, I'm going to take this load to Spactrans once we reach the end of this row, because we won't make it down to the bottom and back before we get full. I think last time we had about 20,000 litres. This time we have 18,400 or so. Yeah, 18,400. So 38,000 litres so far. Starting to become curious how much we are going to get for ourselves, because I would say we probably have at least 2 more trailer loads, judging by the width of the field. So that'll be 80,000 litres in total. Maybe we will end up getting 6,000 to 7,000 litres. But I don't want to have any hopes, because I don't want to be disappointed. Something else that came across my mind as I was contemplating life while the harvester was emptying its load into the trailer: how much straw we're going to get if we plant straw producing crops in those fields when they do eventually become ours. That will be a lot of straw to do something with. I don't even know what we would do with it. Given that, I probably would be looking to buy a bale trailer that has the auto stacker on it. So it's something else we need to consider. I think the one for round bales is fairly expensive. Not sure whether to go with that or whether to go with the one that does square bales. We will see what comes up. I would also like to buy the device that bales and wraps in one. I know there's one for the round baler. I think it's I don't remember what brand it is. It might be a John Deere branded all-in-one baler and wrapper. It can wrap one bale while it's baling the second bale, so it means you effectively don't have to stop the baler. I would like to know how much it costs. It's definitely going to be 6 figures, but I actually don't know how much. Anyways, let's get back to the field and we'll start loading up the trailer load, and I will rejoin you again in a bit. Okay, so we are almost full with yet another trailer load. So let's get this load over to Spactrans. So this is around 69,000 litres of wheat that we've taken over to Spactrans with this load. So we are definitely getting a big haul off of this field. I'm hoping that after this haul there won't be too much more to deliver. We will see. I think maybe there's once up, once down, and then maybe the tram line, I think, left to go. So we've made pretty good progress on this field. Now we are forecast rain. I'm really hoping we can get the harvesting completed before it rains, because it wouldn't be desirable if it starts raining and then the rain prevents us from finishing the job. That would be very unfortunate, because we would lose I think it was like 10,000 for the contract. I don't remember, 10 or 12,000, plus the bonus wheat that we are hoping to get, that I'm definitely not guessing how much of we have. And I did forget to check which baler it was that I was talking about the last time we were headed over here. Of course I forgot, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't. So while the trailer's unloading this time, let's see if I can remember. It's only in about 30 seconds time. Our chances are moderate. Okay, so here we are at Spaktrans. So we need to check the weather, check the price of the baler and wrapper all in one machine. T minus 10 seconds. Can we remember? Alright, here we go. So we're unloading. First of all, let's check the weather. We are expecting rain at 7 o'clock. So we're on 17:40 now. We've only got about an hour left to finish the harvesting. I don't think we're going to get it done in that time. So that's okay. We'll have to deal with it when it comes. And now let's take a quick look at that baler all-in-one. I think this might be it, the one that does baling and wrapping all-in-one. Yeah, that's the one, the JD. So this is what I'm aiming for in terms of a bale. It does only do 125 centimeter bales though, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, that is unfortunate. I was kind of hoping that it would do more. This one does 125 to 180. This looks like it has the same capabilities, so maybe we'll go with that one instead, the bigger one. Anyways, let's get back to our field without further ado, because I'm pretty sure that once we get back there, or before we get back there, the harvester will definitely be full again. So no time to waste. Really want to get this field completed before it starts raining. Although I think the rain's only going to last for an hour or two, so it's not the end of the world if we don't catch it. Let's take another quick look at the weather. Yeah, it's only raining for a couple of hours, so we will be good, I think. So I will continue on once again, and I think this will be the last time lapse of the wheat field. I think we'll be rejoining. I think I'll be rejoining you once it's complete at this point. So I will continue, and I will see you with a victory dance on the next check-in. Okay, so we are nearing the end of this harvesting contract. we didn't miss the rain, so we had to take a quick evening nap while the rain passed. I don't know if the rain affects the harvesting when you're doing contracts, but I didn't want to take the risk because I wanted to keep as much of the grain as possible. So there we go, we are completely finished. And so that is switched off, so that's fine. So let's drive it over to Szpakowo with this final load of wheat. And we've only got 3% to deliver, so I wonder how much of these we're going to get to keep for ourselves. We've got 14,000 litres, so we'll make sure we tip using the grain door. Let's do that quickly now. We'll make sure we set to the grain door. Yep, we're on grain door, so that it comes out slower, and we will offload and then see how much we have for ourselves. As we were going down that last row, I was kind of hoping that we'd get to 100% before the end of the row, so we didn't have to make another trip over to Szpakowo, but that unfortunately was wishful thinking. We had no such fortune. Okay, so we're over at Szpakowo, ready to dump this last little bit of wheat in the silo here. Let's see how much of it we need to dump. So we'll open the grain door. Well, what did we get? We got 6,996. As usual, I am a little disappointed, not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping we'd get about 10 to 12,000 out of that, but we did not. However, 7,000 litres almost, that'll last us a couple of months. Actually, that'll last us about 6 months, I think, in the grain mill, so it's not all bad. So 7,000 litres of wheat will make at a 5 to 4 ratio. Let's say we make about 5,000, about 5,800, about 6,000 litres of flour. That is not to be sniffed at. Alright, so that is the grain tipped into the grain mill. Let's take a look at our production in the menus. So what do we have here for the grain mill? Yeah, we have 6993 in there, and it is still producing, which is good. We have about 60% of our oat left in there. I think we had about 12,000 litres, didn't we? So yeah, 60% of our oat in there. That's going down pretty quickly. We don't have a surplus of regular flour in either of the bakeries. I think next month we need to remember to move the bread out of the we need to remember to move the bread out of the collection zones for the bakeries, just so that that's empty again. So yeah, I'll put that on the list for next month. Now let's collect the contract. What was it? It was 12,000, almost 13,000 for the contract, so that's pretty good. Once we get the 18,000 for the bread as well, that'll be a nice little earner from that contract overall. So I think this is a great place to leave this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying following along. If you are, please do give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And I will be back very soon with the next episode. Until then, bye for now.